Okay, my friends, welcome back to Programming in Scratch with Mr. Wilkerson. That's me, Mr. Wilkerson. We are going to continue our programming lessons with activity number 10, which is finding the factors of a number. All right, we're going to go into a unit of studying number theory, but really our idea is to use Scratch, to use computers and programming to make our lives easier, to help us understand math, and to do the hard drudgery work for us. As long as we understand how it works and we can get the computer to do the work for us, then I don't see a problem with that. Okay, that's kind of what life's all about. So what we're going to do is find the factors. All right, so let's have our character, our sprite. I'm going to move down here. I'm getting kind of tired of the cat, so I'm going to just change to a new one. Oh, let's make our sprite. Oh, I should take a picture of me. That's what I should do. I wonder if I can do that. Cancel. Yeah, this might be upload a sprite from a file. I happen to have some pictures of Mr. Wilkerson right in here. So for those of you that are not attending my school, you might be able to see what Mr. Wilkerson looks like. Let's see here. I've got a folder of pictures. I'm sorry, I'm wasting your time here. But I've got to find the pictures, desktop documents now. Oh, you know what? I know where it is. It's not in my laptop documents, it's in my pictures folder. Alright. And I'm going to find my pictures of Mr. Wilk. Look at all those pictures. Mr. Wilk, let's say this one. That is going to be our sprite. Let's get rid of old sprite, this one. And let's change this one's size. Oops. Let's select him. And, oh, here we go. Let's just shrink him down. Alright. There we go. Right up here, I learned from one of my students, I can use these. Alright. So, I'm going to have Mr. Wilk come down here. And he's going to be our sprite. And I'm going to change my background to my backdrop to kind of a green color because it reminds me of the old days when computers had monochrome monitors, which means that they were black and white, except not even black and white. They were green and white in some cases. So, okay, let's go back to our sprite. Let's just go ahead and get started. Now again, we're going to try to find factors. So let's create a list because I want us to place the factors in a list. All right. So let's just call it factors. Factors. All right. Here we go. Let's put that here. So to find the factors of a number, what does that mean? We talked about that in our math lesson earlier. That means we need to find the numbers that will go into another number evenly, or when you divide, it has a remainder of 0. There's no remainder. So let's go ahead and get started here. Let's explain to the person that's going to use this what we're going to do. This program, oops, let me pause this. Okay, so as I was saying, this program will find, calculate, compute, let's just say find. Oh, of course, yeah. This program will find the factors of any number, any whole number, let's say, any whole number you give it. Give it. Alright, so, and I've learned that that's probably needs about 4 seconds for somebody to read and process that. So, there we go. Okay, so this program will find the factors of any whole numbers you give it. So we've got our list here. And let's ask, what is the number? Alright, instead of what is your name, what number do you want the factors from? What is your number? Let's just keep this simple. What is your number? So it's going to wait. Now I'm going to create a variable, okay, just so that I don't have to keep using the generic answer. Okay, I want to create a variable that makes sense to me, so I'll know what I'm working with. So I'm just going to call it number. Okay, our number, starting number. Okay, and so what I want to do is set our variable number to whatever the person puts in. Okay, to answer. Alright, so the things I've done here is it's going to tell us what the program's going to do, ask for the input, and then put the number, whatever we put in, it's going to put it over here. Alright, so let's check it out. This program will find the factors of any whole number you give it. So what is your number? Let's put in a whole number. Let's say 6. Now, it's not going to do anything except take what we input and put it here for us to see so that we know that what we've input. Alright, so 6, enter, yes, okay. That's all we've asked it to do, is to establish what number we're working with. Alright, now, as I've said, to find the factors of a number, we have to do some work. We have to do some division. We want to see what numbers up to 6, does 1 go into it? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? We have to check and see what numbers divide into that number evenly. Okay, and by evenly, I mean without a remainder. So let's say that we're going to do that. We're going to repeat a division. We're going to have to use this repeat until loop. It's going to loop, and it's going to do the same thing over and over as many times as we tell it to. We want to do this. We're going to repeat it with the numbers from 1 through, in this case, 6. Alright, so repeat until, maybe we'd better make another variable and call it a count. Alright, this is another useful variable that you'll use a lot, called count. Alright, let me show you what that's going to do. We're going to set count to 1, because that's what we're going to start with. And we want to repeat this until we get to the number after. Alright, so it's going to start with 1, and it's going to divide. I'll show you. Alright, see if this makes sense. It's going to start with 1, and we're going to repeat this until our answer equals until our count number equals our answer plus 1. Alright, so just hold on. You know what? I'll let you figure that out. Repeat until the count variable, until our count variable equals our number. Let's do that. So the first thing I want to do is I want to divide. What do I want to divide? So let's oops. I need to pause now. I'll pick this up later. I'll cut out this part. Take two. Okay, so I have created two variables, one called count and one called number. The number is going to be the number we're finding the factors for, and count will just set up to tell us how many times we're going to do this operation. Now, what I want to do, let's work this out here. To find the factors, I have to divide the number, let's say it was 6, by every number, every whole number, including itself, but that's less than it. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, just to test. Now, hopefully you know already that the factors of 6, 1 and 6, because 1 times 6, and 2 and 3, because 2 times 3. Right? Those numbers go into 6 evenly. Now, but for our computer, it doesn't just know that. We have to make it work through it. So we want to divide. Let's create another variable. Let's call it remainder. Okay. Well, I'm just not. It'll come to me though. But you see, that's the process here. What did I do? Anyway, I enjoy playing around with this enough that Rima, I guess we'll call it. Okay, like I said, messed up there. All right, so now what I want to do is I want to set just a remainder. I want to divide. Makes your brain feel good because your brain is increasing. It's growing. And for me, our number by our count. We're going to go through and we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to each time we're going to divide our number by that. So let's get some operators here. We're going to, one of the cool operators that we have in programming, and in Scratch it looks like this, but in other languages you have the same programming languages, you have a similar type thing, but we have this operation called mod, and it's short for the word modulo, because that is one of the terms we use in number theory to find the remainder. Okay, so it divides it, but it doesn't tell us the quotient. It tells us the remainder. So what I want to do is I want to take our number and divide it by the count number and see if there's a remainder. All right, so if it's 0, if the remainder is 0, then we'll know, hey, that's a factor. It goes in evenly. So let's grab an if statement. All right, now if it's just the remainder, then after it does this, if our remainder is equal to 0, all right, we know. All right, so we're going to, up here, we're going to, all right, let's do some calculations. We're going to take the remainder. We're going to take our number divided by the count and see what the remainder is. That's what mod is. If the remainder is 0, then we know it's a factor. Then we want to add our remainder to our list of factors. Can I show all? All right. Then, all right, so let's see what happens. Boom. All right, this program will find the factors of any whole number you give it. What is your number? Let's try 6. Whoa, 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 whoa. It's just going on and on and on. Why is that happening? Well, let's stop it and see. So I guess this is our count. is 1. It says repeat this until the count is equal to, well, for us, 6. So it's going to just sit here and divide by 1 until 1 equals 6. Well, you know what? That's never going to happen. 1 does not equal 6. So that's why it just sat there and boom, 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 divide. It told us that the remainder was 0. All right. Oh, but I just saw a problem here. I don't want to know what the remainder was. I want to know what the factor is. But so we have to come up with a way to advance this. Okay, we found out that 1 is a factor. All right, so let's add, not remainder, but let's add our count number. That's the one that we're dividing by. We know that the count number is a factor. All right, and I know that because if I do this, I'll put the number 6 in it. See, it's going to say 1 is a factor. 1 is a factor. It's always a factor. Oh, okay. So, all right. So we want it to keep going. We know that 1 is a factor. All right. Let's when we start, let's go ahead and just delete everything in our list of factors. That way, you know, we don't get stuck with this long list. So how can we then get it to, when we repeat it, we want our count not to be 1. We want our count to be 2 this next time. So let's, after we add, if it's a factor, we add it to the list. Right? If it's not, okay, nothing happens. But if it is, we add it to the list. Then let's change our count. Let's add 1 to the count. All right, that's how we can get that to go. Let's add our count number to go up by 1. Okay, so this changes our count by 1. And now it's going to go back up here and repeat it until the count is equal to 6. Now the count now is going to be 2. All right, we've changed it by 1. We've added 1 to it. So is 2 equal to 6? No. Then we're going to do this. We're going to reset our remainder. We're going to take 6 divided by 2, put the remainder in there. If 2 goes into 6 with a remainder of 0, then it'll add it to our factors list. If it's not, it's going to add 1 more to it. Come back up here and repeat. All right. I feel like maybe we've got it here. Let's run it. Let's see what happens. All right. This program will find the factors of any whole number you give it. What is your number? Let's try 6. Now remember, we already know the factors are 1 and 6. You know, I hope, that 2 goes into 6 evenly, and 3 goes into 6 evenly. So let's put 6 in there, and let's see. 1, 2, 3. But wait a minute. 6 should be a factor too. Not just 1, 2, and 3. We know 4 doesn't go into 6, and 5 doesn't go into 6. But 6 does. Why isn't that happening? I'll tell you why. It's because we were told to repeat this. We told the computer repeat this until the count was equal to the number. If the count was equal to the number, jump out and stop. Well, we want it to do it with the number too. So we want the count to be equal to not 6, but 7. Okay, or whatever our number is plus 1. So let's grab this. All right, I'm going to take our number and put it in there and put 1 here. Now watch what that's going to do. That's going to change our number plus 1 to be 7. All right, so now it's going to do this until this thing gets to 7. All right, so when it gets to 6, is 6 equal to 6 plus 1, 7? No. All right, we'll check 6 then. It's going to jump back up here. It's going to add 1. It's going to make it 7. Jump up here. Is 7 equal to 7? Yes. Then all right, jump out and you can end. Okay, so let's start it over. This program will find the factors of any whole number you give it. What is your number? 6. Should have now 1, 2, 3, and 6. Booyah! There we go. That's it. We've just written a program. You know, I know when I taught math, it seems like finding the factors for a number was always, it was a big production. You know, it was hard for students to want to do all that work, because it is a lot of work. If you've got a number like, say, let's run this again. You know, a number that's got a lot of factors is 24. Okay, 24 has many, many factors. A lot of numbers go into 24 evenly. All right, but you know, we understand what a factor is. We understand how to find those factors. It's just getting the motivation to actually do the work to do it. You know what? Now we have written this program that will find those factors. You know, I don't have to sit there and do all this long division. So let's see. What are the factors of 24? Boom. Let's just lengthen our list here. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 12, and 24. Those are the factors of 24. Look at that. And boom, it's instantaneous. We would have, you know, it would have taken us a couple of minutes at least to come up with the factors of 24. So, there we go. We have done this. I should add on the, you know, when the flag is clicked, however I want it to start. And, you know, it's a pretty simple program. The concept behind it, how we programmed it, is not so simple, because we had to use this repeat loop. We had to work on that to make that work. We had to use an if-then conditional statement. We had to learn how to increase our counting number that we divided by each time, so that it didn't just sit there and go forever, have an infinite loop. And we created how many variables? One: number, count, and remainder. So we've got this program that does the work for us. And so, wow, if you can understand this, I want you to actually think about this, not just copy it, but, you know, think about how this is actually working. You know, what happens to each variable as we walk through it, okay? And be ready to explain that, okay? That's the important thing. Be ready to explain that. And I think we should share these with our math teacher, with your math teacher, so they can understand what it is that you know. You know what? Before we go, I want to try one more number. What about 48? 48 is going to have a lot of factors too. Boom. Ooh, so maybe we should go like this. Maybe we should go like that, because look at all those factors. What if we had a great big number, just out of curiosity? Alright, what if I had 8,002? That's it. Alright, what if I had a number like 8,003. Wow. Well, if I had a number like 7. Only 2 factors. You know what? I think we'll use that fact, that some numbers have only 2 factors. Some have more in our upcoming assignments, activities. So think about what that means if a number has only 2 factors, or if it has more. What does that mean? Something to think about. But good luck, and enjoy your programming time. Have a good day. Bye-bye.